Hello, welcome to Patrice's Projects. I'm Patrice.
And I'm her daughter, Cheyenne.
Our program is going to be about multiple things. I am able to make jewelry.
Okay.
And yesterday I was doing an episode on gardening, and I realized I didn't really properly introduce myself. So a little bit about us. I'm the mother of 7, and I have 7 grandkids. None of them are around here, so you won't get to see them, unfortunately.
Just me.
But my teenage son is living here. My husband, you might meet him. And, of course, my videographer and co-host, Cheyenne.
Yes.
And so what we're going to be doing is you're going to be going through my gardening with me, watching me fail, watching me succeed as well. Well, I said fail first because mostly we're probably going to be doing that.
We're beginners.
We just put in our very first ever raised beds. So I'm learning. I've watched a lot of videos. Thank you, Ray, on Praxis 5571.
Something.
Yeah, 15 channel.
You know who you are.
You know who you are, yeah. Anyway, I've learned a lot, and so I have some little seedlings started in the back. Actually, they're getting hardened off right now because February here in California, during our El Nino year, we're having these great breaks. So I was able to get some gardening started, and you'll see that in a little bit when later on in the video. And I'll do projects on jewelry, and I can do macrame, wire working. I don't know. Let's get a zoom on that. Oh, not there. And I do lots of beading, which this is here. and lots of comedy. And Cheyenne just had her nails done. Yes, look at that. So, and there's a few rings like the thumb one there where I do some wire weaving. I have also learned how to do bead weaving, so I'll show that. And I happen to also be a pretty good cook, I think. I don't know. What do you think, Cheyenne? And a lot of my recipes will be geared toward healthy cooking because my husband had a heart attack recently, and I had to relearn how to cook. And I always took tacos for advantage, you know, just put the little seasoning packet in, and I can't eat red meat, or I shouldn't. I do sometimes anyway. So we use ground turkey in recipes, like in my meatloaf, which I'll be doing a video on. Yeah, that's the bomb. And we'll be doing shish kebab. We'll be doing, back to the tacos. I invented a recipe, and it turns out pretty good. A little spicy the other day.
Spicy meatball.
Not always. You can adjust that. So, anyway, I do a lot of home projects, and I will repurpose things. Like I made a little compost bin, and I'll show you that sometime, out of licorice containers. So that was fun. And last year I did a compost pile. It didn't quite turn out great, but it is compost, so I'm going to be throwing that in the garden in a little bit. And I'm going to start a new compost pile, so let's see how that one goes. Hopefully we do better on that this year. So anyway, that is who we are. And yeah, Cheyenne has the giggles again. You should have seen her watching the first part of the video I did. She was busting it, tears rolling down. It was great. So anyway, hopefully I get better at doing this, and so anyway, I guess that's it. Anyway, thank you for tuning into our channel. Like I said, this is our first ever episode, so hopefully many to follow.
Thank you for watching.
Good morning. I had been meaning to do a video on my garden as we build the boxes and fill them and plant and everything, but I didn't have good enough camera. I just got given this iPhone. So, here we go. The other part of the video, I had actually done this once earlier. You're a little bit far away. Get a little closer. I think that'll do. Okay. That's a little better. Let's try again. Okay. That's better. So anyway, with this bed, it's 2 inches thick, 12 inches deep, and 10 inches long. And this is the first bed that we built. And I had watched several videos on how to build them. It didn't say how thick hardware we needed, so we kind of went extra heavy duty on this one. And then later, sorry, there's a little piece of grass here I don't want, and the soil would be arriving soon, so I really want to get that. So anyway, a little distraction. The hardware on this one is really heavy duty. This bracket down here, because it's so low, I wanted to get the heavy duty ones like this, and they were like maybe $2 or a little over $2 each. A lot more than I really needed to spend. And you know, after thinking about it, after building this box, I realized the soil is going to be really soft. I can get to the hardware, and all it's doing is holding the sides up, and if I need to replace things, I can get to it, you know, just pull the soil away and get to it that way. So on the next box, I didn't spend as much on hardware. So anyway, I used some nice screws here. Don't remember what these are rated for. You're supposed to use like deck screws. These aren't those, but they're close enough. And they're either 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches long. My husband put these together for me. That's the only thing he'll do is put things together. In terms of garden, he hates the dirt part. He loves watching me garden. He loves the produce from it. He'll eat it. He's not a big veggie guy. So anyway, these ones were, you know, more heavy duty because I figure they're deeper. They'll be harder to get to if I need to fix anything. And then these ones are just to, you know, keep the shape of the box. We also have screws. He countersunk them a little bit and put the screws in. I believe we have 3-inch screws on each side, holding them together. First, unfortunately, we weren't on a level surface, so you see there's a good almost a 1/4 inch difference on this corner, and unfortunately I didn't plan my box right. This is the side I'm going to be at the most probably, so it's going to bug me. This is our in-ground sprinkler system that was already here, and during the time that I had built the garden, it slowly crept out here over the course of 3 years, and so at first I just let the sprinklers sprinkle the garden, and then kind of went with what everyone was saying, use the drip lines and such. So I dug out the sprinkler deep enough to where I wouldn't get dirt into the line, put this manifold on down there, and that was fine for the time, because the garden, this is the original soil level, actually it's a touch lower, because I pulled some soil down there. We have a slope here where it goes downward on your side, and I had to do a lot of work. My son and I pulled a lot of dirt over to the other side to make this level, which it is. We even used a level on it. The yard hadn't been kept up for years, and this side wouldn't even grow grass, and it's the only area that has sun. So this is where the garden went. And anyway, this is a manifold. You put on your drip lines from here, and then you spread them out wherever you need them. I went ahead and kept this, even though we have chlorine in the water. I'm going to go ahead and use the water, the city water, to water the top parts of the garden, and I'll show you what I'm going to do in another video to water the deeper roots where it really matters, at least in my opinion. So that's this box. We'll go to the next box, and the next box I already did the recording and unfortunately cut off my head, so please excuse that. The soil will be arriving anytime, and I didn't want to chance losing that footage, so I will bring out the camera and we'll see when the soil arrives. Like I said, I used less expensive brackets on this one because all it has to do is hold the sides up together, and by the time these are galvanized, so they should be fine. The only problem is we used these on that one we used some nice quality screws. They shouldn't rust for a long time. On this one I didn't find those screws in the garage because we have so much hardware.
in terms of connecting things like screws and nails and such. So anyway, these are little 58-cent brackets from Lowe's. These, and those were also 58 cents. I use sheetrock screws, and I am a little concerned about those rotting out, but because this is a raised bed and the soil will be loose in it, because I'm getting my load of dirt today, so that's why I'm kind of in a rush to get this video done. It's the only time you'll see this box like this. And in this one, I don't have one of the sprinklers coming up inside the bed, but behind you is one behind just behind the other end of this bed. So this is 2 inches by 8 inches by 10 feet long, like I was saying before. So this one is 16 inches high. This one would be a lot easier. This is what I designed it for. I suffer from sciatica, chronic sciatica, and so I'm on pain pills all the time. Anything I can do to make my life easier. And I was thinking the 12-inch high would be high enough until we built the box. And you're looking at everything but my head, right? Okay, let me get back down. I was thinking it would be high enough for me to sit on the edge and do my gardening until I sat on the edge and started reaching toward the middle, pretending I was gardening. And lettuce, you know, anything I have to weed around that's really small, or like my green beans. They take a lot of effort. What you see here, I'm sure you've been noticing, there's cardboard in the bottoms of these boxes, and this is a barrier. Even though my garden, I had already taken all the grass and the weeds and everything out, they'll still pop up here and there, the strong ones that can grow in this ground. And so what other gardeners have done, and so I did it too, they put a cardboard barrier down, and it will suffocate all the weeds and the grass and things like that could potentially come up. It also encourages worms to come up. If you've ever had a planter or, you know, cardboard or, you know, a box or something sitting on the moist ground for a while, you get a lot of slugs and worms and things like that underneath. So as they're decomposing this, then it's encouraging more and more of them to come because that cardboard's there. And then once that is decomposed, which it will do, and it also feeds your plants, then, you know, there's a lot of worms that are going to come up into your soil in your raised bed and help to feed your plants. So it's a win-win all the way around. Cardboard is pretty natural. I took all the tape off of these ones to make sure I wouldn't find all this gooey tape later when I'm gardening, and hopefully these are deep enough for some potatoes. I'm going to put some potatoes in on the that end. I think that end. Yeah, because tomatoes are really tall, and this is my north end, that's my south end. So I want my potatoes at the north end so they're not going to block the sunshine from the other plants. And I'll show you that in another episode when I'm planting. And I have some awesome plants I will show you in class. So my dirt is going to arrive today, and hopefully I will grab my camera. I may not be talking to you at the time because that's kind of weird. I probably